Hello and welcome, everybody. We are live from Fort Mill, South Carolina. You're in the zone. That is the TNA Wrestling Fan Zone. For your information, your previews, your news, and predictions all about TNA Wrestling. Now, let us welcome our TNA Wrestling Fan Zone superstars.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to a brand new video today here on the WWE Slam Zone. Yes, I know you just seen the beginning of the program, the intro for TNA Wrestling Fan Zone, because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the return of TNA Wrestling. Yes, TNA Wrestling is back. It'll be back January 13th, 2024. Their first pay-per-view will be Hard to Kill. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. Cannot wait for the return of TNA Wrestling and cannot wait to see. Maybe on Hard to Kill, they might have new belts or some stuff. We'll talk more about that here tonight. TNA Wrestling is back. I just sat and watched a episode of I was watching Bound for Glory, and towards the end of the show, there was this weird video. I don't know if we could post it on up here by me, but I don't think you can because we don't want to get copyright issues for WWE Slam Zone. But we're having a little section. I was sitting here watching. They were out in the woods, and Kazarian comes up with a chess. I'm like, okay, and it's got blood in the back of it. So I'm thinking, what is going on here? And there's like, it had Josh Alexander, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Frankie Kazarian, Alicia Edwards, Eric Young, Eddie Edwards, and Jordan Grace. And they were talking about we need to change wrestling back again. And all of a sudden they open up this case, and I just read it right there, TNA Wrestling. I'm like, yes, TNA Wrestling is coming back. So I had to text Billy Bob, and we're going to get Billy Bob's his opinion about it. And I text him and say, hey, Billy Bob, TNA Wrestling's coming back. He said, no, you're not. No, it's not. You're joking. And I had to show him proof. So anyways, but ladies and gentlemen, he's here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, BLLY Billy Bob. taco dance. Ah.
Yeah! I tribute. It's a tribute here. Yeah. Hey, Jeff, Jared. Eric, cut it. Cut it, Eric. Hey, Eric, cut it. Oh, man, Eric, you can't hear tonight. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, whew, I need oxygen. Woo, woo, woo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to TNA Wrestling Fan Zone. That's right. We're here on the WWE Slam Zone, but yeah, that's right. We're going to make a little announcement in a minute about this. But, ladies and gentlemen, TNA Wrestling is back. Woo! Yeah! TNA, 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 TNA. TNA is going to be on fire. You see that? TNA on fire.
Yep.
Woo! That's right. But, man, I can't wait. I mean, I can't wait for Hard to Kill, Michael. It's going to be an incredible first ever TNA Wrestling pay-per-view back in the new era, in this new era of Impact. It's going to be crazy. No more Impact. Well, I mean, yeah, you got Impact, but no more like Impact Wrestling brand anymore. It's TNA back. And wow, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. When you sent me that message, I was like, you're joking.
Mm-hmm.
You're joking. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes, like Oogie Boogie says, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I seen the video. I was like, nah, man, this late April Fool joke or something. I was like, come on now. I didn't believe it until Scott D'Amore said at the end of it, we're back. And I was like, yes. Yeah, let's go. But I got to get a chair here. Give me a chair. Yep. Oh, man. Get a chair. Oh, hold on a minute. You know how this chair does to me. It beats me up. But anyway, they're Michael Miner. But yeah, man, hold on a minute. I'm having technical issues. All right. But anyway, Michael, we had, what you just said at the end of Bound for Glory. What an epic announcement that is. I didn't see that one coming at all. I'm like, that
me neither.
Left field,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, I was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty awesome. Because Michael, back in the day when I debuted on the TNA Wrestling Fan Zone, what? You remember it? Do you remember my debut? It said right there, I was TNA Wrestling's biggest fan.
Yep.
I went to every TNA Wrestling Fan Zone show. Well, Fan Zone, no. TNA Wrestling show in the world, I went to Australia. I went to England. I know, flatbed, greasy country, but I've been there. I've been to Peru. They had a show in Peru. That was like a house show back in the day. I've been there. I've been to Chicago, to Bound for Glory back in the day, and I also went to Genesis, Charlotte, North Carolina there, Michael.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know how I went to Australia?
How?
I had a pick-em-up boat. It was built by Ford manufacturers. Yeah, until Peggy Sue destroyed it, but that's another story. I don't even want to talk about that bull crap, but yeah, I heard she's still with Kenny Chesney, but anyway, I heard rumblings that Kenny Chesney might need to watch her because she's with some cowboys now, but I don't know. But anyway, that's another topic on another day. But Michael, what is your thoughts? What are your opinions on TNA Wrestling being back?
I love it being back. I didn't like Impact Wrestling. When they switched over to Impact Wrestling back in the day, I used to watch it until like 2016. I'd say 2016, 2017, I started cutting it off on my cutting from watching it. And I would start getting back into watching WWE. I was starting getting into other independent wrestling companies that were out there. So yeah, around 2016, I cut TNA off. because I used to watch it when Kurt Angle announced some new faction called the Main Event Mafia. I was watching them until Drew Galloway was world champion. Then Alberto El Patron was on there. Bobby Lashley, uh, the American Wolves, Davey Richards, and Eddie Edwards, and then they broke up. And then they start doing some stupid AJ Styles angle, and then they were still in the studio for a while. Then I heard they left the studio and started got put into some other place. But yeah, it's good to see TNA back.
Yeah, are you talking about that JJ Styles storyline with Claire Lynch? Is that the one
Yep.
you're talking about? Where yeah, she's like, "Oh, you
We
had
still
a
were dating.
yeah." It was weird.
Having
I
an
didn't like
affair.
yeah, I didn't like that story. It didn't really go anywhere at all. And your thoughts on AJ's last run in TNA wrestling as the Lone Wolf?
Oh, that's the thing. I loved his Evil Ways theme song. That's what I came out with when I debuted in TNA Wrestling Fan Zone. But
Right.
yeah, I loved that song for a while. And then when AJ left and went to WWE, did stuff with New Japan Pro Wrestling, did some stuff with Ring of Honor, and then jumped shipped over to WWE. I That's when I said bye TNA.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
Impact Wrestling.
Right, right. But I'm going to go ahead and read the press release that was after Bound for Glory. It was announced. It says company officials confirmed that the new year will launch a new look TNA wrestling that runs from the entrance ramp to the turnbuckles to the ring to a larger, more prestigious venues. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, and much, much more. Further details on the TNA wrestling return will be revealed. It was revealed in when Scott D'Amore was sat down in an exclusive interview with Tom Hannafin. We watched that. It was a pretty good interview. TNA Wrestling launched in the summer of 2002 and has long been known as the most innovative professional wrestling company in the world. TNA is known for its high risk, action packed X Division matches that have run with one simple motto: it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. Stars of the X Division have included Chris Sabin with a record 10 title reigns, AJ Styles, the first ever X Division champion, along with Jay Lethal, Samoa I Love Cookie Joe, Christopher Daniels, Petey Williams, Frankie Kazarian, and Trey Miguel, among others. TNA is also home to the prestigious Knockouts division, widely regarded as the best women's division in all of pro wrestling. Knockouts division features Trinity, Deonna Purrazzo, Mickey James, Jordan Grace, Masha Slamovich, Killian King, Jessica, and Courtney Rush, among others. Legendary past knockouts include Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, The Beautiful People, Taya Valkyrie, ODB, Tara, Tracy Brooks, and so many others. That's your press release. And Michael, I bet Flatbed Greasy's probably upset because his well, I don't know if he's upset or not because that's his
Right.
now. He got mad at her. So I'm guessing Flatbed would rather have a lot of Hayes in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, were you shocked Madison Rain wasn't even mentioned?
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy. But anyway, there, Michael, your thoughts on that press release, and let's go ahead and talk about your thoughts on the Q&A video that Scott D'Amore sat down with Tom Hannafin.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with TNA wrestling. I seen the video with Scott Demore Q&A. It was really good Q&A. Talked about there might be some new belts coming, which is understandable. If they're gonna start branding TNA. I think the only way they're going to be debuting those is I think will be hard to kill.
Yeah.
Pay per view might be doing winner of some title match is going to get a brand new championship, and or they're just going to switch it over to the new belt and people get to see it before or when the match before the match starts. And so yeah, I cannot wait to see what TNA does. They need to bring back the whole going around to stadiums, like what AEW is doing. get contact with some of the stadiums, like smaller stadiums that have had get a hold of like college teams. You can do it at their stadiums. Be cool to see it over at the Rec Center. It could be cool to see it at where the University of Milwaukee plays or somewhere around here. They need to get out more than just some small studio or bars or some crap like that.
Yeah, exactly. And in the press release, I was happy to read that it's going to be in larger venues, which that's is awesome news for TNA. I mean, Michael, I bet you remember lockdown at the Alamo Dome. They sold
Yep.
that place out. That was the biggest attendance record in TNA wrestling history back in the day in
Yep.
San Antonio. But yeah, I'm super excited about larger venues. And let's go ahead and talk about the news that Scott D'Amore laid to rest that everybody wants and everybody's complaining about. Oh, we're not going to watch TNA because they're not going to bring back the six-sided ring. Let's go ahead and talk about this, Michael. I mean, yeah, people complain that the back in the day, TNA wrestling fans loved the six-sided ring. I did myself. I mean,
Yep.
I
I
loved
did
it.
too for a little while when I seen it since the when Kurt brought in a new tag team and then all this or this new faction. I used to see. I was like, "What the heck's this weird looking ring? It looks like an octagon." And I'm like, "Oh, it's a six sided ring." I'm like, "Okay, a little interesting."
Right, exactly. I mean, it was a cool concept, a cool change to TNA wrestling back in the day. But let's go ahead and run it back. June 19th, 2002, the first ever TNA pay-per-view on Wednesday nights. It was NWA TNA back in the day.
Yep.
But Michael, it did not start with a six-sided ring. It was a traditional four-sided ring back in the Asylum days until I think the second year of the Asylum. The second year, I think they
Yep.
brought the six-sided ring in for their first ever anniversary show. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, people complaining, but you got to realize that TNA started with a four-sided ring. I mean, come on, people. I mean, there's wrestlers in the company right now has done said that the six-sided ring's hard to work in, it's hard to bump in, and it creates more injuries.
Oh yeah.
What I heard, so they preferred the four-sided ring. So I have to say this, Michael. I'd rather see a four-sided ring than wrestlers getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I know everybody loves that whole six sided ring, but you got to think um, when you do the ring, if you do a six sided ring, the rope's like that long, and
right.
it's so hard to bounce from it to actually do a clothesline, to do any type of move. Because if you hit that and God knows you go flying over, you could get hurt or just dead. That's
Exactly.
why I
I mean,
like. That's one reason why I like the 20 by 20 ring, the four sided ring, where they could have a whole load of rooms to do crap loads of finishers or signature moves and stuff like that.
right. And it's just, I'm tired of people saying, oh, well, I'm not watching TNA, the new TNA, because no six sided. Like, really? Does it matter what ring? That's just my opinion. Like, really?
Right?
I'm
Just
like,
it's a ring.
I know it's just a ring. I mean, it's just, I don't know. People are just weird. But tell us your thoughts in the comments. I know we might get those haters saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Anyway,
Right?
let's move on. But yeah, Scott Demore laid that to rest. Are you upset about it, or are you just happy that TNA
No,
wrestling's back?
I'm. Gren. Yeah, I'm a little upset they're not bringing back the six sided ring because that's what TNA was founded on. But it's a new era. It's a whole new, fresh start for them. I just like it the way it is. I when I saw Bound for Glory, they even had their logos in the ring. When you have you seen an Impact Wrestling show with their logo in the ring, in the on the mat, because you can see the logos in each corner. When have you ever seen that in days? Because
Right.
even look at they need to what they need to do is bring back the aprons. Because if you guys go back and look at the TNA days, the aprons they had advertisements of God, DVDs that are coming out, or pre-order this DVD, or um, Skechers, or some kind of a company brand that they could start getting into, and just do it all the way around the ring because you need that back.
Yeah, they really do. That would be really cool. I mean, you see now a little bit. You see, like they
Yep.
have like aprons that has movies from I think Anthem makes or something like
Yep.
that. It's like you see them like, yeah, oh, this is brought to you by some movie, whatever movie's coming out. But I think it's like straight to DVD or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, maybe we'll see maybe some more better major sponsors maybe for Impact.
Hmm.
I'm TNA. My bad. Now we'll move on to the reveal of a new set, a reveal of all the new TNA logos and everything is going to happen in the new arena. So my thoughts here on this situation, I think the new set should pay tribute to the old school set of TNA wrestling. You know, back in the day of the Impact Zone at Universal Studios Orlando, they had, two different entrance ways on each
Yeah.
side of the building. You had a hill one, and then you had a face side. And I think that was pretty an awesome concept on that situation. But I don't think they'll do that because it's just, it's not these venues are not studios. There's not big
Yeah.
enough to do two entrance ways. But when they went to HD, they took the other side out and just made one big entrance way. And on the
Hmm.
stage, you had the screen in the middle, and then a hill tunnel on the side and another face tunnel on the side, kind of like what the old school AEW did back when they
Yep.
first started. But Michael, I mean, I think it should be, a tribute to the old TNA, but with, but better, in my
Yeah.
opinion. You think the tunnels will return?
It would be cool to see the tunnels, but I know a lot of people are going to be saying, "Oh, they're just bringing back what AEW used to have and all that kind of stuff." You want to make it more revamped. If you want to go old school, you should bring back like the old TNA wrestling, the NWA TNA set that I've seen on some YouTube videos. Back in 2004, they used to have like two LED screens on both ends, and then you had just a weird looking entrance coming out. You could revamp that, maybe mix it up a bit. Yeah, they need to make it to where they do like what WWE's been doing, LED thing, because then that'll be like, okay, and then no, I'm not watching TNA if they do that. Um, Granted, yeah, they're getting money from that, but they just need to revamp it because look at the stage that we saw recently. It looked kind of crappy. You just look like strips of tin foil or some strips of something just thrown together. You need to revamp it, make it something it'll be for you. If you do the TNA logo, maybe you could bring back a little old school Nitro days when they always have the WCW logos on both ends. Maybe just revamp it just a little bit. Don't really, go overboard because you don't want to go and buy like LED stuff and then, they need to work on their audio and production too. They need to fix that up more because the last few times we've been watching like Bound for Glory or an Impact Wrestling show, look what happened. They had to throw the whole full segment from Josh Alexander on YouTube because you couldn't hear nothing.
Right. Exactly. They need to work on that. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on that, Michael. I can't wait to see what the new set will be. Hopefully it don't disappoint. Hopefully, I mean, also I was wanting to say this as well. It would be cool. I know it probably won't be in their budget, but it would be cool that each pay per view had a different set. You know, like WWE did
Yeah,
back in the day. But yeah, that might be a lot of money to do
yeah.
that. But it's like that's another story. Anyway, we're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to talk about moments, our favorite moments. We can't do a TNA Wrestling is Back video if we don't talk about our favorite moments. What got us into TNA Wrestling? So we're going to go ahead and I will start it off. I mean, I had some awesome moments. How I started, how I knew about TNA Wrestling.
I gotta say, you have more moments than I do because
Right,
mine was more going into 2011,
right.
2012 year when they started doing the whole when they were in Vegas for that one episode.
Well, this is how I got into TNA wrestling there, Michael. I seen a racing. I was watching racing because Billy Bob wrote some NASCAR. Daryl Waltrip was on there. I would had to watch the race with Daryl Waltrip. Daryl Waltrip here. I don't know if he is or not, but
Nope, he's not here.
oh well.
Maybe he's in the bathroom taking a poo.
He could be. But anyway, I was watching the NASCAR race, and old Hermie Sattler was on there. He said, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a TNA wrestling event later tonight in Nashville, and they had NWA TNA on one of the NASCAR racers, cars.
Yep.
Anyway, I guess that's what you say, the NASCAR cars or something.
They're it's stock cars, but they're doing like promotions.
Yeah, something like that. But they had it on the hood and all that, and it said NWA TNA. And Hermie Sattler said, "I'll be there tonight in Nashville." It's like, I was like, "How you get this? I'm the new wrestling company. How you get this show?" And he said, "Oh, you order it on the pay per view for $9, $10 tax or whatever." I was like, "All right." I pulled my wallet out and I got my credit card out and I called the number. I said, "Yeah, I want this NWA TNA wrestling show." And the lady was like, "What?" I said, "NWA TNA. You don't know what that is?" "No, I don't know what it is." "Well, shut up, lady. Just give me the show." That's what I said. But anyway, I sat there and I watched it, and it come on, and it had the old classic NWA on there, and then boom, it said TNA. And then all of a sudden, they had fireworks and everything. Jeremy Borash said, "Welcome to TNA NWA." And then they brought out, what's his name? What's Joe Fiara? What is that his name? Joe Fiara? I don't know. Anyway, it was a Fiara guy. He had braids on, and he's like, "And let's introduce Don West." And Don West came out, and then Mike Tenay, and then they all went to the announce table, and then all of a sudden, they did the, a Legends deal. All the Legends was in the ring, and a Ricky Dragon Steamboat, and all of a sudden Jeff Jarrett comes out and interrupts them, and then you also had Ken Shamrock come out. But the big shocker of it all, R.I.P. Scott Hall came out, and he's like, "Hey, yo." When I seen that, Michael, I jumped out of my chair because, I wasn't expecting Scott Hall to be on a small wrestling show, back with the first ever show, and it was small. TNA was small, I mean, it started first episode. Big name there, big name. I mean, I know Jeff Jarrett was there because I heard about he started it and stuff. Ken Shamrock, former MMA star, former WWF star, But yeah, I mean, Scott Hall shocked me. And then all of a sudden, it all led to a gauntlet match. End of story. Ken Shamrock wins. But anyway, that's my favorite moment. The first ever TNA NWA pay per view. First ever match, Michael, was my favorite. It was a 6-man tag match. It was the Flying Elvises taking on the team of AJ Styles, Low Key, and a guy who was that? Who was it? Low Key and Jerry Lynn. I couldn't almost think of his name there. But yeah, Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles, and Low Key had an incredible match with the Flying Elvises, which I think AJ and them should have won, but Flying Elvises won with Sonny Siaki, Apollo, and Jimmy Wang Yang. But yeah, they were Flying Elvises, by the way. But yeah, that's my favorite moment. And also, big fan AJ Styles. Watched him since the first match in TNA all the way until now in WWE. But AJ Styles, first ever X Division champion. What a great moment that was to watch that as well. And also, Michael, I'm going to talk about it. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it. But my favorite moment also in the Asylum days is the Duck Cup. Yeah, I know you're not going to like it, but the Duck Cup. Anybody wondering what that is? Well, first off, how you get points, you got to you get 5 points for beating up the ticket lady. And if the ticket lady beat you up, then you get -5 points. And then if you beat up a fan, you get 100 points, which that never happened. And then if you pin somebody, they get eliminated. But if they pin you back, they get back in the match. So yeah, I mean, Michael, your thoughts on that in just a minute. But hold your thought. My other favorite moments is Chris Sabin winning his first ever X Division championship, but also my other favorite moment, Eric Young shocking the entire world at Slammiversary that one year, winning the World Heavyweight Championship. That was epic to see Eric Young finally getting his spotlight in TNA wrestling. And man, Jeff Jarrett had an epic run as NWA World Champ as well, going into Bound for Glory 2005. And he thought, oh, I have this in a bag, in which, everything went crazy for BFG 2005 because they had a hurricane come through. I think it was, I forget what, the Ian or something like that back in the day. But Rhino won 3 times in one night. He won Monsters Ball, he won the Gauntlet for the Gold, and then he went on to face Jeff Jarrett for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and beat Jeff Jarrett. And then at the end, it was just a big old brawl of Jarrett's army, like AMW, Team Canada, tried to beat up Rhino, tried to throw him in the coffin, but Team 3D come out and saved Rhino, and then that was an epic ending as well. Also, Michael, my favorite faction in TNA wrestling was the Aces and Eights. What an awesome group that was. But those are my moments. Those are my favorite matches and moments that I remembered in TNA wrestling. Michael, go ahead and let everybody know your opinion on the Duck Cup, because we really want to know, and your favorite moments. I'll let you go ahead and be full screen for this.
Well, my thoughts about that dump match. I seen a good friend of mine send me a video of it to watch. It was a full thing, and I thought it was stupid. It was like, what's this concept? Doesn't make no sense. There was a lot of favorite TNA moments. I first got into Impact or TNA wrestling. I was back then. I watched some of the what the heck do you call those? They do it like before the pay-per-views. They do it like a little. You get like 60 minutes before the pay-per-view starts, and I'm sitting here watching this thing about NWA TNA. I'm like, okay, I want to watch it. I want to see this. And then, I didn't have the money at the time and I was a kid. I didn't order it. So now I actually have the whole volume, not all the volumes yet, but I've got all of them now so I can sit back and rewatch them again. I got back into TNA in 2011 because I heard they got a Spike TV deal. And I'm sitting here Thursday night. I'm like, what is this? It said TNA Wrestling. I'm like, oh, I remember them. So I clicked it on and I saw guys like Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Booker T, Sting, Scott Steiner. I was like, I remember these five guys. Kurt was in WWE. Sting was in WCW. So was Scott, or so was Kevin Nash, Booker T. Booker T was in WWE for a while, and then Scott Steiner was in WWE for a while. And then it got me hooked, and I'm sitting here, thinking, okay, cool, let's watch this. I watched all of it, pay-per-views. I had to find live streams to watch those. It was kind of hard. Um, my favorite moment was the Aces and Eights debut. They started the whole thing. I watched the whole entire full show about it. Got into watching them. Then we got into almost 2012, 2013. It started doing a post show. That's when I started meeting some cool people on there. I met TNA Wrestling Fan Zone on there. They had a YouTube channel, so that's how I got my start. But yeah, I was watching TNA. Big one was the Joker Sting gimmick that Sting did. I have the history of Joker Sting now on my DVD, so can't wait to put that together. But anyways, I think that's about it for my favorite TNA moments. But that dump match was kind of dumb. So
Come on. Why?
I wasn't a big fan of it. Someone sent me a video of it, say, "Hey, watch this dump cup." I'm like, okay, I'll sit here and watch the dump cup, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, what are these idiots talking about? Like, oh, if you slap a fan, it's like, don't you get disqualified for that? Like, so then when they did a match of it, I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Click.
Oh, come on. Did you see them? They got 5 points for trying to beat up the ticket lady, but the ticket lady
Yeah.
beat them up. I'm like, that was funny. Come on now. You gotta say that was funny.
Right.
Anyway, let's move before we move on to some breaking news that you got, Michael. Let's talk about the new era of TNA. Do you think Johnny Swinger Daddy gonna be in TNA? Oh, good.
Don't let me walk out about him. I'll walk out because I really don't want to talk about stupid Johnny Swinger. He's getting to the point where he's about to make me mad. He's getting to the point where I should go to TNA and Impact Wrestling beat the crap out of him and send him back to where he belongs. But no, I don't care about Johnny Swinger. I didn't even like his stupid palace. I didn't even like the Wrestle House crap. I didn't even like anything. So yeah.
All right. But let's move on. Breaking news. I heard you got Michael. You want to go ahead and announce it live right here on this video?
Yeah, we've got a couple of breaking news. The first one, if you don't know, was just mentioned after Bound for Glory, and it was mentioned somewhat in the Q&A. PCO has signed another multi-year deal with Impact Wrestling, which will be TNA pretty soon. So I know a lot of people will be thinking, oh, you like him. Yeah, I kind of like him. He's starting to remind me of a Abyss in TNA wrestling. We had to have some kind of an Abyss in Impact Wrestling. So he's starting to remind me of him. Just recently on Wrestle Talk, breaking news at our sold out live event this evening in Coventry, England, TNA Impact Wrestling president Scott D'Amore signed 19-year-old UK sensation Leon Slater to a long-term TNA contract. Was just broke. Let me see, when did it break? Just broke a few days ago because apparently they were there for tapings. But Scott D'Amore has signed a 19-year-old Leon Slater from the UK. So it's going to be really cool to see some more UK. We've got Will Ospreay might be coming to TNA pretty soon. Sonya Kiss, she made her debut at Bound for Glory. Matt Cardona, I wish I'd love to see him back. So yeah.
Hey, that's awesome news. Would you like to see any other indie talent that or free agents want to come to TNA, you think?
If it was me, I bring in Mercedes Monet.
All right. Yeah.
Have her and Trinity go after the Impact Knockouts tag titles. But they need to get rid of the Knockouts tag titles. I think it's starting to get boring and start having everybody start fresh. That's the only belt I need to get rid of. But yeah, it would be cool to see Mercedes Monet. El Phantasmo would be really cool to see come back again because he was a part of Impact Wrestling when they did the whole multiverse thing. So that would be cool to see. Kenta would be cool to see to come into TNA. Um, a lot of great stars out there that could come to TNA pretty soon. But yeah, they could bring some of the stars from yesterday. They brought back Vladimir Koloff. I haven't seen him in God knows when, but yeah, it would be cool to see some indie stars come into TNA next year. Just hopefully they bring in the people that we know. Leon Slater, I don't know much about. I've been seeing him on YouTube and that kind of stuff, but I could play Blake uh, Blake Christian. If you guys don't know, he's still currently the Game Changer Wrestling World Champion. I don't know. I haven't been watching Game Changer Wrestling. It's been a while. But yeah, they could bring in some really good stars out there. They could bring in, like, they're going to bring in Will Ospreay. I mean, like what the Great O'Khan says, the United Kingdom's going every way they are. So, roll them up.
That's right. But also, I wanted to mention he's retired. I mean, he owns his own wrestling school in Canada. I mean, he should make a small appearance or some kind of appearance. I would love to see him back. Even if it's just a promo or a cameo or whatever. But I would love to see maybe Bully Ray gets in the ring and is like, "Hey, I'm going to bring back an old friend of mine." And out comes Johnny Devine. You remember Johnny Devine was
Mhm.
with Dudley Boy Team 3D back in the day, and when they
Yep.
were trying to beat up the X Division stars. That would be pretty cool to see him back, or bring Johnny Devine back and have Scott Demore and Eric Young. Do Team Canada, maybe a full Team Canada. That would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, but they would
Johnny
have to go
Devine,
new school Canada type deal. I don't think they
right?
really want to bring the old school part back because if they do, it's gonna be kind of yeah. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. Your thoughts, Johnny Devine? Were you a big fan of Johnny Devine?
yeah, I was a big fan of him back in the ECW days when it was ECW on TNN. He was on there doing some tag team matches on the show, and I was like, this guy's pretty good. He was a former ECW World Tag Champion for a while, but yeah, it was really good to see him back in TNA.
And a lot of people, before we move on, this was another top subject going around on Twitter and YouTube. They said, "Oh well, TNA's back. It won't be TNA unless you bring this guy back, the man of the pound saw." Period. Monty Brown. Your thoughts? I think he's not coming back to pro wrestling, in my opinion.
No,
I just don't think that'll ever happen. But a lot of people's like, well, just bring him back, do like some kind of promo, cameo, whatever. But do you think he might show up in on TNA future New Era? I doubt it, but I mean, he's a nice guy. I met him personally. I mean, very nice guy. But I think he's done. I think he's done with pro wrestling. He left pro wrestling to help his sister with her kid. Like they were sick or something. Like or his sister was sick or something, and that's why he left. And he went to WWE, and that was a big disappointment there. But Monty Brown, you think he's done? Do you think he'll come back, Michael? What do you think?
yeah, it would be cool to see Monte Brown. I've heard there's some news out there that he was supposed to come back in 2020, but with the whole pandemic era that happened, um, I guess they couldn't get him to come back. But yeah, it would be really cool to see him make an appearance or two. If they do like an anniversary show, they should bring him back. So yeah, that would be really cool to see him back.
It sure would be. But let's go ahead. We're running out of time here. We're almost hitting that hour mark. I know Eric Young is telling me my earpiece got to soon wrap it up. There ain't no more time here. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and do some announcements here for this chat for the WWE Slam Zone channel. I know there was an announcement saying, "Oh well, we're gonna it'll move over. TNA or Impact Wrestling stuff will be moving over to the GTN channel." Well, GTN was like, "Hey, we're theme park channel. We don't want wrestling on our channel. That's our sponsor, so we have to say okay to that because they're our sponsor here, there, Michael." But so now we had upper in the board of directors here at WWE Slam Zone. We're going to have like a little section. We'll have a little section here on our YouTube channel. Down below on our main page, you'll see it. It'll say the return of TNA Wrestling Fans on. So we'll have a little section on that, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll have every TNA video on there in that playlist. So if you want to go see some TNA wrestling, new TNA wrestling videos, reviews, predictions, or whatever, it'll be in that section called TNA Wrestling Fans On is back, or just TNA Wrestling Fans On in general. But ladies and gentlemen, please check that out. This video will be the first video in that section. So I hope everybody's enjoying this video. Comment down below on what you think of our opinions and everything. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when we have a brand new video each and every week. Also, if we're live, it'll let you know when we're live, kinda, because we have a stream that's cursed, but it is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody enjoyed this. But yeah, Michael, your thoughts on TNA Wrestling Fans on returning, and I have another announcement as well. But go ahead and your thoughts.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see it on the channel. I might think about putting up a video about the TV deals that I think they should go with, um, because it'd be really cool to get away from Anthem. But I've got a few TV deals they could go with, so people can know what channels to even go on. But well, I'll talk about that more in a separate video.
Right. Stay tuned for that. Michael Miner will be doing that. He will be hosting that video by himself. He's going to make that video. So stay tuned. It will be in the section as well in the coming days or coming weeks. Who knows? But yeah, Michael Miner will let everybody know when that video hits. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the next announcement is we're going to have a hard to kill prediction show, but it's not going to be on this channel. It's going to be over at the Gaming Slam Zone 34 channel, because it's going to be the Hard to Kill Predictions Championship show featuring Michael Miner and Flatbed Greasy. And I might show up.
Co-champion with Scott. Oh God, please help.
I know, right? I might show up. I might put my name in the hat there, Michael. But anyway, that's going to be on Michael's channel at Gaming Slam Zone. But the Hard to Kill TNA Wrestling Hard to Kill review. That's right. We're going to do a review show right here on this channel on TNA Wrestling Fans On. It'll be in this section. So we're doing that, Michael. Your thoughts? Are you ready for the return of a TNA Wrestling pay-per-view review?
Oh, I can't wait for that.
That's all the announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Michael, you got any more announcements?
Not really. Hasn't been much going on for Gaming Slam Zone 34. Hopefully we'll start getting some videos going pretty soon for that channel. Maybe we'll be doing another DVD update. So TWF will be returning pretty soon. If you guys didn't check out, go check out the draft that we just got done doing just yesterday or a couple days ago. So get ready for the go look at the draft. I do apologize for the website. Website will be up here just as we get off the air here, or if you've watched this somehow, the website might be live. but we will get that website live for you.
But we got to close out this video. Final thoughts on the return of TNA Wrestling.
Big. I have to say, congrats. Welcome back, TNA. Even Jeff Jarrett said the same thing. They shouldn't have had Impact Wrestling. They should have just brought back TNA, but it's good to have it back.
Exactly. And all I have to say is TNA, TNA, TNA. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Y'all stay tuned for TNA Wrestling Fan Zone videos down here on this playlist that you're watching right now. So yeah, every time we put a video up for TNA Wrestling, it'll be in that playlist. But ladies and gentlemen, I am Billy Bob. That over there is Michael Miner from Game & Slam Zone, and we'll see you on the next TNA Wrestling video or live stream. We're out.